back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Stephen, and this is your match preview for Everton's game against Burnley on Saturday at Goodison Park. Getting straight into it, previous game against Newcastle, obviously a really good point, not one that I expected us to get whatsoever. I think we were, in a lot of ways, lucky to get a point. I think in terms of positives, it is just a little bit closer to safety. A little bit more confidence for the side. Another goal for the goal for Calvert-Lewin that will hopefully, break his goal scoring drought. And apart from that, don't think we played great. The positives, another positive maybe Pickford. Mikalenko had a good game, but apart from that, it's just conceding quite early, and again dropping points. It's one of them, really, that one of those games where we can build off it, but not the greatest. Of course, going into this one, this is a massive one. I think of all the games we've got left from now to the end of the season, this is one of the ones where we need to be picking up 3 points, one where 3 points is most likely. Games like Sheffield United, Brentford, Luton, games where we're more likely, I think, to pick up points, and if we're going to stay up, I think we need maybe 2, even 3 to be safe. Wins from them games, with how a couple of teams have picked up. Luton and Forest have picked up some points, so this is going to be a really important one, I think, and I think the team know that, and I think the fans know that. Obviously, the 1878, the fan group that were obviously behind a lot of the marches and banners and stuff like that going into the 2022 season, and obviously the end of the Frank Lampard season with the Crystal Palace game. They're again doing another thing this week with the march, and they've had loads of flags out. I think it looks great from what I've seen on their Twitter page. Not sure it's 100% necessary. Personally, I'm very fed up of stuff like this, trying to get behind the team that have been playing so poorly. And I think the responsibility falls on us as fans to try and make the difference in the ground. I think it's great what they're doing. I think it's brilliant. I think it should be every single game, though. I don't think it should just be a case of having these at certain points in bigger games. And the fact that they're doing it in a home game against Burnley, going into towards the end of the season, just shows really how far the club's felt. So that's just my thoughts on it. I think it's brilliant what they're doing, I think, but to be honest, I think the team should be able to go in and pick up points without having to rely on us at the end of every season. It feels like the same sort of story at the end of every season now, and it's getting very tedious, but still, it'll be nice to see there on Saturday all the flags and the banners out, and hopefully a bit of a better atmosphere inside the ground. That's definitely what we want. Burnley this season, personally, I think they've struggled to come up, and I think not adapting the style of play to the league has definitely been to their demise this season. I think Vincent Kompany, he obviously did a great job last season in the Championship, but coming into the Premier League as someone who captained Manchester City for so many years, I think he should know just how tough this league is, and trying to keep that same style of play, I don't think really has been to their benefit, and it showed in where they are in the table. You're 19 points in 19th place. It doesn't really. It just shows really that not just the step up from the Championship to the Premier League, but also the way you play. You can't afford to play the same way every game. I think that's also, been a problem for us this season as well. Trying to keep that same system. I think if you want to stay in the division, there is a bleeding in period for these new teams. And I think Burnley have struggled this season, I won't lie, and I think everyone will agree with me on that. Burnley players that we need to look out for, I'm going to go for Josh Cullen. I think he's been really good this season. I think Odegaard's good, and I think they have some solid players going forward, in my opinion. I think on the whole, I think this is one of those games where we focus on ourselves, we try and get an early goal, and we push forward and try and bury them. I think that's all we can do. I think obviously Burnley have played some good football at times, players like Josh Brown, Hill as well, but to be honest, from someone who hasn't watched much Burnley this season, there's a couple of names that spring to mind when I think of them, but if I'm being perfectly honest, for a team that are 19th in the table, it's very hard to pick players that are stand out and that are going to be dangerous. I think Burnley are capable of getting something at Goodison Park. I think they're capable of winning by all means. I just think in terms of players that are going to be a difference maker, obviously I think it all lies in their midfield. Cullen, Brownhill and Berg. I think they're the three that are going to change the game for them if they're going to come to Goodison and get anything. Obviously played these already twice this season, just the same as when I did the Palace preview a few weeks ago. A 3-0 win at home in the Carabao Cup and a 2-0 win away. Actually our last win in the Premier League, which is absolutely shocking. Remember it pretty well. I remember Michael Keane scored in that one. And you know, we've targeted them at set pieces with crosses into the box. That's pretty much been part and parcel of Everton Football Club this year. Don't get me wrong, if we get a goal in a 1-0 and it comes from a set piece, I'm not going to complain, but it shows how one-dimensional we've been, really. You know, there was the Onana header at Turf Moor and the Keane goal, and it seems like when we are picking up goals and points, they've been a bit scrappy. And I think the one game that really stands out to me as a game we've played really, really well in this season is that 3-0 at home to Burnley in the Carabao Cup. I remember a 2-0 up, sitting there really, really relaxed, really happy, and really enjoying the way we were playing. So basically we just need to go back to that. But of course there was that set piece goal from Tarkowski which opened the score in that one as well. So that'll be another place we will look to get at them this weekend. In terms of key battles, I've gone for Sander Berge and Onana. As I mentioned there, Berge I think is one of their key players. Apologies if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, I'm not too sure. I think that's going to be one of the key battles in this weekend's game. I think this game will probably be won and lost in midfield. And it's all about whether Calvert-Lewin can put one in the back of the net, because his goal against Newcastle should hopefully make a bit of a difference in his goal scoring form, but you can't always guarantee that. So if it goes like anything it has done in the past, in the recent home games, it's going to be very, very tough to put the ball in the back of the net, especially if they get one, because then obviously it sounds obvious, but you've got to get another one, and we're not very good at scoring goals. So I think it'll be a big battle in the midfield between Onana and Sander Berge. He's been a bit of an anchor in the midfield for them this season, has held it down a little bit and dictated play. That's one we cannot allow to happen. I think we need an early goal in this one, and the midfield is where this game is going to be won and lost. Andre Gomez as well in the midfield. I think he's one that split opinion a little bit this week on Twitter after his cameo in the Newcastle game. There's a couple of people saying that he should start. Well, a lot actually. We ran a poll on Twitter. 84% of Evertonians said yes, they want to see him start this week, and in a way I do agree. I think when he started in the Cup against Crystal Palace and he scored that free kick, I thought he played okay. I don't think there's much to lose here. I think, to be honest, I'm not sure Decore's been too great lately. I think there is space to change the system a little bit, maybe drop someone like Jack Harrison and bring them in. There is space for him to come into this team without a shadow of a doubt, and I think it could be a good thing. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Should Andre Gomez be starting against Burnley on Saturday? And then moving on to the lineup for us, I think I would like to see Gomez start. I would like to see Jimmy Garner have a good game. He's one that I think is really desperate for a good game. I'd like to see Coleman come in at right back, I think in front of the Goodison crowd in a game like this. If he can play well, it does definitely build his confidence a little bit, especially with that terrible own goal at Bournemouth a couple of weeks ago. I'd like to see him start. Mikalenko had a good game. I want to see him starting from the very beginning against Newcastle. Dobbin's not quite fit yet, but he's one I want to see come back in, but I think it might be a bit too soon for him. Danjuma is training again. I'm not sure if he'll be ready in time to be in the squad, but I would like to see that. We definitely need something a bit different, and we haven't seen enough of him this season. One that will go down a little bit as maybe a waste. I don't know. I think he's played okay when I've seen him. He's one I'd like to see start against be in the squad against Burnley. And of course I'm going to go with Calvert-Lewin up front. I think it would be beneficial in this game, I think, to have both of them, Calvert-Lewin and Beto, but I think after that goal against Newcastle, the penalty, I think at least give Dom Calvert-Lewin 90 minutes to try and get another one and to push on from here now till the end of the season. In terms of score predictions, I am going to go for a 2-0 win for Everton, but let me know in the comments section down below what you think. Do you think it'll be a win, lose or draw for Everton? Let me know, do you think Andre Gomez will start? Who you think the key battles will be? What you've thought of Burnley this season? Make sure you like and subscribe to the Toffee Blues, and I'll see you in the next one.